Alright guys, so today we're going to be blowing out the sprinklers I installed here in the spring. As you can tell, it's a little cold, so we have to wait for it to warm up this afternoon. Hopefully nothing froze too much. So what I'm going to use here is this 33-gallon compressor. You need something of a decent size to be able to keep up. Your mileage will vary. Sometimes you might need something bigger, sometimes you might need something smaller. It depends on the size of the motor and the size of the tank. So best thing we're going to do is just, try it. If it doesn't work for you, then maybe you'll need something bigger. Most important thing is you never want to set your tool pressure too high. 50 psi is more than sufficient, so we're going to set the pressure to 50 psi. A good thing to get is this attachment, which I've provided in a link. It's just an adapter to your hose and has the lever to release the air. So we'll attach that to our input line and we'll go ahead and charge this up and fill it full of air and basically open the valve and blow it out until most of the water is out, and it's mostly just blowing a fine mist out of every single head in the zone. This type of compressor is good for one zone at a time. Doing multi-zones is very challenging, so not recommended. That's why these guys doing this for a living run giant compressors, and they just blow one zone out of it, the one entire system out. Always make sure you're blowing it out past the vacuum breaker. I pulled that out of the system, and I'm just going to go directly into the head, which I've removed the beehive timer, and I'll pull it right from the pipe over here. So we'll go ahead and get started. So with a male-to-male hose adapter hooked up, I went ahead and secured the attached adapter to it and then released the air into the system. Right about here you'll see a couple of heads pop up. You'll see they're spewing water pretty thoroughly. They're not shooting the full distance, but there's water coming out. When every head stops pushing water out at a significant volume and starts to kind of spray a fine mist, that's when you know you've completely blown out the entire system. It's good to not run it any longer than you have to. In this particular video, it took me about a minute until all the heads were blowing out that fine mist. If you run it for too long, you can cause damage to the rotary style head. Your mileage may vary if you have a different style head. This is just kind of the research I did to blow out the sprinkler system on this Orbit kit. So once it's all set, you can go ahead and turn it off. And I went ahead and bought a cap and covered my system for the winter, and that was it. Well, I hope this video has been helpful, and if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below.